You're live on the cloud. Now what? The journey is just beginning. Welcome to our first episode of Seeing Through the Clouds. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited to be joined by a couple of leaders from our Oracle and Workday teams, Selim Burduroglu from our Oracle Cloud team and Mike Champa from our Workday team. Guys, thank you both for joining me today to talk about institutional agility. Agility, wow, key word in today's trying times. So Mike, when you think about what an agile institution looks like, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, thanks, Kyle, and thanks everyone for joining us today. An agile institution is one who is ready to adapt to changing requirements within their institution, whether those are coming from on campus, off campus, or the world around it, as we saw in 2020. And I think one thing that what an agile institution has to have is have a stable foundation. It's really hard to adapt and react and be very agile to new shifts when you're not organized in the first place, or you're trying to put out several different fires and just sort of getting by. So having a stable foundation to your institution, operationally, administratively, et cetera, with an eye on the mission always, it's one who can be really agile.
I think that's very well said, Mike, especially great to be agile, but you got to have that core in place first, that stable foundation. So Selim, why is agility so important? I think it's an obvious fact for a lot of people, but maybe you can explain to us why institutions should really be putting this at front of mind, especially in today's current environment.
Of course. Again, thank you. Thank you for that. Now, when we look at the current marketplace and the current social and economic impact of what pandemic have done, higher education, especially in the United States, as of September, American Council on Education actually quantified the impact of pandemic to be around $120 billion. That's with a B. That naturally elevates the importance of agility within this space, and where the organizations has to be not only be able to anticipate these market shifts, but able to rapidly respond, adapt, and also swiftly act. So those are very important elements of to thrive and to continue to innovate in this marketplace.
Right, we've got to keep moving forward. We have to be responsive to what's changing and not just sit back and wait for something hopefully to happen positively. I think that's well said, Selim. Mike, we're focusing on agility, but obviously a successful institution has to have many other characteristics and capabilities. So maybe you can speak to how agility can connect to some of those other broader capabilities at those institutions that we really see being successful.
Yeah, I think three things that come to mind, three characteristics really. The first one being the ability to be really effective communicators and managing change. So it's one thing to be agile, but you have to do that for the constituents it's affecting, letting them know what's coming, why it's changing, and what that benefit is of being agile in the first place. Number two characteristic is sustainability. Being agile, but being able to sustain that change, that success, that improvement, whatever that thing is that you're trying to impact or transform about your institution, you have to make sure that stays sustainable, and you can be agile sustainably. Do you have the infrastructure to do so time and time again, whatever that new requirement is? And lastly, leadership, top down. Leadership has to be on board to help enforce that agility, to make sure it's a priority, and with that eye to the future. You're not just reacting, but being proactive and agile to what might be coming as best you can.
Selim, anything you would have to add there? I think those were all great points, Mike.
Yes, definitely. One thing to just add on that is that as part of that, we definitely collectively agree that the rapid adaptability to these market conditions are crucial. Having the right governance and structure and processes in place. And there's been so much focus on agility, and then we talk about stability, but the byproduct of all of these are business resilience. Naturally, if you're an agile institution, you should be achieving and getting the business resilience and to be able to thrive in this unprecedented market conditions.
Resiliency, right? I think that's something we all can strive for. And if agility is one of the ways that we can get there, then we should be incorporating that on a day-to-day basis. Selim, Mike, thanks so much for joining me today. And I hope all those tuning in today will listen to our next episode. Look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. We hope this session helped you see through the clouds. See you next week.